guys, welcome back. Today I want to take some time to talk to you about prioritizing and the importance of it. There is a huge difference between being busy and being productive. We've all had those days where we're super busy, but at the end of the day you don't really feel accomplished because you weren't necessarily spending your time wisely. You might be busy doing things that you didn't really necessarily have to do, instead of really taking the time to identify what your priorities are and accomplishing those first. I am notorious for writing these huge to-do lists of things I want to do, but I get busy easily doing things that I don't necessarily have to do, such as cleaning the house. There are some times where I will spend so much time cleaning the house or mopping the floors or doing things that don't necessarily have to be done, and there might be some phone calls, things that need to get mailed, just different projects that I have to actually get done on that day that are being pushed aside because I'm being busy doing things that don't necessarily have to be done. And I was going to bed feeling like I just wasn't having a very productive day. Even though the house might be clean and certain things were still getting done, I wasn't getting done. I wasn't focusing my time on the things that really had to be done. And that's because I didn't take the time to identify what my priorities were each day and focusing on those first. And then if there's extra time to get other things done that don't necessarily have to get done, doing that afterwards. So now, before I sit down and write a to-do list, I think about my top priorities and write those down first. So that way I know, even if I don't accomplish anything else throughout the day, if those few priorities are being met and are actually being accomplished, I know that I've had a very productive day, and I go to bed feeling more accomplished because, like I said, being busy and being productive are two totally different things, and you want to make sure that you're spending your time as wisely as you possibly can. So by taking time to identify what your priorities are and making sure that you're focusing on getting those tasks done first, I guarantee you will feel like your time is being used so much more wisely. You're feeling more productive and more accomplished. And it's just all over a great feeling, because basically if you're busy doing things that you don't necessarily have to do and you're pushing aside the things that you do have to do, it's just another form of procrastination. So I'm going to share with you guys how I use my planner to identify my top priorities first and then schedule them into my day. So I'm blocking off a chunk of time to get those priorities done. So I know that I'm not just saying I have to get these things done. I actually have specific times to get those things done throughout the day. And then if there's time to do other things, great. But bare minimum, I want to make sure I'm getting my top priorities done on a daily basis, so that way I'm feeling like I'm being more productive and more accomplished throughout my day. So you don't have to use a planner like mine. You can take a piece of paper and write down your top priorities for the day and just focus on those. But basically just identifying what your priorities are, scheduling time out throughout your day to get those done is key. And I guarantee, even if you go to bed with a disastrous house or things that are not necessarily being done, if you focus on the top priorities and you are getting those done, you will still feel like you're having a productive day and that sense of accomplishment. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you guys my planner and how I sort of schedule out my day and make my to-do list for the day. Okay guys, so here is my planner. I have a plum paper family planner. It has 7 sections here, and I use the top box right up here. I just started using this top box to identify my priorities. So basically at the end of the day, I go ahead and plan the next day. Now, previously I was just going ahead and I have a morning, afternoon, and evening section, and I would just write down a list of to-dos basically of things I wanted to get done. And I was using this section to list, any events going on and that sort of thing. But I wasn't taking the time to really look at my day and identifying the priorities. So like I said, I was going to bed feeling like I wasn't necessarily getting the things that I needed to get done, and I wasn't feeling accomplished at the end of the day, even though I was busy doing other things that didn't necessarily have to get done. So basically what I do is at the beginning of a week, so usually Sunday night, I go ahead and I write down a list of things that I want to get done for the week. Now that's great. It's great to do that. However, I wasn't taking the time to actually plan out when I was going to do those things. So this list over here hardly ever got checked off. Now it is Monday, it's just the afternoon, and I already have 2 things on my weekly list checked off. And that's because I'm taking the time now to go ahead, identify my priorities, and schedule them in. So for example, today's Monday. So the top priorities are in this box here. I needed to get done my laundry. I'm actually just finished that before I started filming. So that is done. I wanted to do a decluttering because our house really needed it after the weekend. I did that first thing in the morning. I wanted to take down our Easter decor because Easter was yesterday, and I wanted to just take that down. I went ahead and took 5 minutes this morning and did that. I still have to do our floors because I didn't touch those all weekend, and that is a priority for me today, is to vacuum and wash my floors because I didn't do it at all for a while. And I had to mail something out. So as you can see, I already have the bulk of my priorities done. And that feels awesome because now I know even if I don't get anything else done throughout the day, it's only about 1 o'clock and I already have my list of priorities practically done. And that's because I took the time last night to identify what my priorities are for today, and then I went ahead and I have these sections here, my morning, afternoon, and evening sections, and I went ahead and scheduled in when I was going to actually get these things done. So in the order that I'm going to do them, if that makes sense. So basically planning out my day and plugging in these priorities throughout my day when I know I'll have a chunk of time to get them done. And I went ahead and I did that for the rest of the week. There are certain days that I know I'll have time to get certain things done. Like for example, tomorrow I know I need to get my son's kindergarten registration information all squared away and ready to go. I have a home study that I want to get done tomorrow. I know I'll have a chunk of time to do that. And I also want to reorganize our tour charts. So again, these are things that were on this list here, and I know Tuesday is going to be a chunk of time where I can do these things. So I'm identifying my priorities in this top box, and then I will be scheduling them out in this area, just in the order I'll be able to get them done. So that's how I use my planner to really help me identify my priorities and schedule them in. But like I said, you can use a regular piece of paper. But I think the key is to just identify what your priorities are and schedule them into your day. So that way, like I said, you know that you're getting those top priorities done. Even if nothing else gets accomplished, those are things that you will be getting done, and you'll go to bed feeling like you had a productive day because you're focusing on what matters most instead of just being busy and pushing aside the things that you need to do with the things that you don't necessarily have to do. I wanted to share this information with you guys because it has been helping me so much to feel more accomplished and just to take advantage of my time better. And I wanted to share it with you guys because before, just recently, I wasn't taking the time to really identify my priorities, and therefore I felt like I was wasting a lot of time doing things that I didn't necessarily have to do because I just wasn't taking 5 seconds to sit down and say, okay, these are the things I have to do today. Instead of just having them within my to-do list somewhere, but they weren't at the top of my priority list. So taking time to prioritize your to-do list is such a great way to take advantage of your time better and to be more productive and feel more accomplished. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.